Okay, hi, hello, good morning. My name is Rukaini. I will be your host for today's session on Tenable Lumin product overview. Okay, this is what we're going to discuss about Tenable Lumin product overview. Okay, what you can expect from today's session is first I will discuss about the product overview, what is Tenable Lumin. Then we will go through some key highlights. It include Tenable Lumin feature, benefit, and also Tenable Lumin Metrics. Okay, last but not least, I will open discussion. If any of you guys have some question, I will answer it accordingly. Okay, what is Tenable Lumin? Okay, Tenable Lumin is an advanced visualization, analytic, and measurement solution to understand and reduce user cyber exposure. Tenable Lumin also can help transform vulnerability data into meaningful insight to help users manage cyber risk across their entire organization. Okay, while managing risk, Tenable Lumin also can calculate, communicate, and compare cyber exposure. Besides, it can also visualize and explore cyber exposure, track risk reduction over time, and benchmark against user peers. Okay, this is some key questions to be answered in order to reduce cyber exposure. First, where are we exposed? Second, what should we focus on first? Third, how are we reducing exposure over time? And the fourth one is, how do we compare to our peers? Tenable SC and Tenable IO are designed to answer the first question and part of the second question. Okay, predictive prioritization incorporate into this product allow organizations to prioritize their effort based on a vulnerability priority rating or VPR for the vulnerabilities found in their environment. Tenable Lumin improve prioritization effort via the asset criticality rating or ACR, which prioritize key assets. Tenable Lumin provide the answer for the second and third question via cyber exposure score or CES that can be used for internal comparison such as geography, business unit, and also device type. And Tenable Lumin also answered question number 4 via external comparison against the population of all Tenable IO customers as well as other in the organization specific industry. Okay, I have mentioned some terms like vulnerability priority rating or VPR, asset criticality rating or ACR, and cyber exposure score or CES. Okay, we will go into more detail in our next few slides on Tenable Lumin Metrics. Okay, this is a cyber exposure life cycle. As you can see, there is 5 cycles. First is discover, assess, analyze, fix, and measure. Discover. Tenable Lumin will continuously identify and track any asset on any computing platform. Okay, for assess, Tenable Lumin sees any type of exposure on any asset. For the analyze, Tenable Lumin will understand and significance of each exposure based on content. It includes asset criticality rating. Okay, to the next one is fix. Use remediation guidance and integration to properly address exposure. Okay, with Lumin remediation guidance workflow, security team will receive a list of the top recommended remediation action to reduce the organization's cyber exposure. Okay, for additional information, team can drill down into specific vulnerability or asset for business and technical contact to enable more effective remediation. The last one is measure. Okay, Tenable Lumin quantify and analyze exposure at any level of the organization in technical or business terms. Tenable Lumin benchmarking function provide information needed to track and measure user effort both internally and against industry peers. As you can see, this is a cyber exposure puzzle. Okay, the cyber exposure puzzle represents a layer of visibility that has not existed before. It brings vulnerability, asset critically, threat, and business context into single view for decision support and risk management. Okay, to do this, Tenable Lumin draw on a wealth of information. For example, like over 4.5 petabytes of vulnerability scan data result from 1.5 billion vulnerability scans each week, and Tenable draw from 8 third-party data and threat intelligence sources. Okay, Tenable Lumin can transform raw vulnerability data into meaningful insight to help manage cyber risk across entire organization. Allow users to calculate by providing clear guidance about what to focus on, communicate to quickly understand and explore their organization's cyber exposure, and last one is compare to identify area of focus and optimize security investment. Okay, putting Lumin to use. Okay, there is 3 levels. There are executive, director, and or manager, and the last one is analyst or technician. Let's go to the first one, executive. Okay, Lumin solves key problem facing CISO and VP level security leader by providing visibility into their complete attack surface, then insight that allow them to deploy resources based on risk, measurement of progress in reducing cyber exposure via both internal and external benchmarking, and last one is transformation of dialogue with other C-level personnel and corporate board. The next level is a director or manager. Okay, Lumin provides valuable insight to security operational management by providing the first one is management report that summarize the organization progress in reducing their cyber exposure in a simple, easy to understand manner. Okay, the second one is improve prioritization of vulnerability via the addition of asset criticality measurement to existing VPR scoring, and measurement of progress in meeting vulnerability management KPIs, and the last one is recommended remediation workflow to quickly reduce cyber exposure. Okay, the last level is analyst or technician. Tenable Lumin provide valuable insight appropriate for VM practitioner through improved prioritization of vulnerability via the addition of asset criticality measurement to existing VPR scoring, measurement of progress in meeting vulnerability management KPIs, and the last one is recommended remediation workflow prioritized by reduction of cyber exposure score. As you can see, this is the inside screen of Tenable Lumin. Okay, as you can see this one, cyber exposure score by businesses contact. Okay, this S1 risk-based cyber exposure analysis and scoring weight vulnerability, threat data, and asset business criticality by providing clear guidance on where to focus remediation efforts. Okay, this dashboard gain insight through a single comprehensive view of the model attack surface that include traditional IT, public and private cloud, web application and container, and IoT and OT. The next one is exposure score. Okay, this one, it can help user to see how their organization cyber risk is changing over time. Manage risk based on quantifiable metric aligned to the business. Okay, the last but not least is the cyber exposure score threat. Okay, this one you can track cyber risk reduction over time and compare user cybersecurity effectiveness to industry and geographic peers. Okay, for this one it's a Lumin Screen for cyber exposure score distribution. Okay, detailed analysis of cyber exposure score for individual asset and recommended remediation action to reduce user cyber exposure. The ACR breakdown and asset scan distribution. Okay, this one, this comprehensive view of asset criticalities and scanning technique. And the last one is this one, asset scan frequency. Okay, quick knowledge of vulnerability, age and scan frequency along with comparison to industry peers and total population, providing insight into metrics for improvement. Now let's go to some key highlights. Calculate and communicate cyber exposure. Okay, Tenable Lumin provide an objective measure of cyber risk via the Cyber Exposure Score (CES), which combines vulnerability data with other risk indicators such as threat intelligence and asset criticality. The score is automatically generated through machine learning algorithm that factor in likelihood of vulnerability exploitability and the business criticality of the impacted asset. Okay, CES can be applied to any group of assets, from a single asset to all assets across the entire organization for detailed analysis and decision making. Okay, the next one is assessment maturity metric. Tenable Lumin summarize key assessment maturity metric to help improve assessment capability and security responsiveness. The product provides detailed analysis into asset scan distribution, asset scan frequency, and vulnerability age to strengthen program effectiveness and focus on process maturity. This widget allows users to drill into assessment maturity data to investigate the security posture of underlying asset. Cyber exposure trending. Okay, Tenable Lumin deliver advanced visualization to help understand trend improvement over time as a measure of security program effectiveness. Okay, the product shows the CES of user organization over the past 6 months and highlight 7-day changes of scoring to flag potential issues. Okay, the next one is external benchmarking. Tenable Lumin enable organizations to benchmark themselves against industry peers to quickly identify shortcomings and strengths. Okay, the product benchmark a number of key metrics such as CES and assessment maturity based on industry and overall average to analyze how organizations compare. Tenable Lumin benchmarking is based on the industry's most extensive vulnerability intelligence, processing over 1.5 billion instances of vulnerability per week and coupled with data science to provide comprehensive and accurate insight. The next feature is process integrity risk management. Tenable Lumin reduce process integrity risk by providing an assessment maturity score. This single metric allows users to quantify and compare how well their organization is assessing environment, allowing users to implement policy and process improvement that reduce their cyber exposure. Next feature is business context analysis. Because CES can be applied to any group of assets, Tenable Lumin enables security team to benchmark internal operation group, like example business unit, computing environment or branch location against one another. This analysis helps to focus attention and resources to address areas of high exposure and identify best practice across the organization. Asset groupings can be fully customized by leveraging existing tag, which allow users to filter and analyze segments of their organization. The next feature is remediation guidance workflow. Tenable Lumin provides security team with a list of the top recommended actions that reduce the most cyber exposure to translate business decision on risk appetite to technical guidance for team to action. Additional information, team can drill down into specific vulnerability or asset for business and risk context to enable more effective remediation. Third is seamless integration with vulnerability management. Tenable Lumin seamlessly integrate with Tenable IO and Tenable SC to provide both the breadth of visibility into cyber risk across IT, cloud, IoT and OT environment, and the depth of analytics to measure and communicate cyber risk in business terms to make better strategic decisions. Okay, this enables Tenable Lumin to become a single pane of glass for a holistic view of cyber risk. Since Tenable IO and Tenable SC are backed by Tenable Research, delivering world-class cyber exposure intelligence, data science insight, alert and security advisories. Frequent updates from Tenable Research ensure that latest vulnerability check, zero-day research, and configuration benchmarks are immediately available to help users secure their organization. There is 5 benefits. The first one is quantify cyber risk. Tenable Lumin provide an objective measure of cyber risk across the organization and within its internal operation group to make more informed decisions. Second one is measure cyber risk performance. Tenable Lumin understand trend improvement over time as a measure of security program effectiveness to communicate results. The third benefit is benchmark against peers. Tenable Lumin also understand how cyber risk and assessment maturity compare to industry peers to quickly identify shortcomings and strengths. Benefit is boost productivity. Take advantage of the top recommended remediation action to reduce the most cyber exposure and improve IT effectiveness. Benefit is reduce product sprawl. More insight out of your vulnerability management data without the need for a separate point solution in the security stack. Move on to the last part, Tenable Lumin Metrics. Lumin use several metrics to help users assess their cyber exposure risk. They are Cyber Exposure Score, CES, one Vulnerability Priority Rating, VPR, then Asset Criticality Rating, ACR. The fourth one is Asset Exposure Score, AES. The fifth one is Assessment Maturity Grade. Then the last one is Tenable Vulnerability Indicator, or TVI. For Cyber Exposure Score, CES, it can calculate a dynamic CES. It also represents cyber exposure risk as an integer between 0 and 1000 based on the asset exposure score EES value from asset scan in the last 90 days. Okay, the higher the CES value indicate the higher the risk. You can view CES for a different group of assets. Let's include first one, the CES for the entire organization. Then the second one, the CCS for asset in a specific business context. This is a cyber exposure score CS table. Okay, you can see the range from 0 to 349 is considered low, and the highest category is considered 650 to 1000. Vulnerability Priority Rating, or to VPR. VPR is calculated a dynamic VPR for most vulnerability and provided by the vulnerability CVSS score and severity. It also reflects the current threat landscape. VPR value range is from 0.1 to 10.0. Okay, the higher the value representing a higher likelihood of exploit. Vulnerability Priority Rating VPR table. The low one category is considered as 0.1 to 3.9, and the critical one is considered as from 9.0 to 10.0. This is a VPR key driver. Age of vulnerability. Okay, the description is the number of days since the National Vulnerability Database, or NVD, published the vulnerability. The CVSSB3 impact score. National Vulnerability Database provided CVSSB3 impact score for the vulnerability. Okay, if the NVD did not provide a score, Tenable.io display a Tenable predicted score. Next key driver is exploit code maturity. Relative maturity of possible exploit for the vulnerability based on the existence, sophistication, and prevalence of exploit intelligence from internal and external source. The possible value parallel the CVSS exploit code maturity categories. Key driver is product coverage. Is the relative number of unique products affected by the vulnerability, like low, medium, high, or very high. Then the next key driver is threat sources. Okay, a list of sources where threat event related to this vulnerability occurred. The system did not observe a related threat event in the past 28 days. The system displayed no record event. The next key driver is threat intensity. Intensity is based on the number and frequency of recently observed threat events related to this vulnerability, like very low to very high. Then the next key driver is threat recency. Okay, the number of days from 0 to 700 to 730 since a threat event occur for the vulnerability. The threat event example like an exploit of the vulnerability. The second one, a posting of the vulnerability exploit code in a public repository. The third one is a discussion of the vulnerability in mainstream media. The fourth one is security research about the vulnerability. Okay, the fifth one, a discussion of the vulnerability on social media channel. Then a discussion of the vulnerability on the dark web and the underground. And the last one is a discussion of vulnerability on hacker forum. Asset Criticality Rating, or ACR. ACR is to each asset on a network. It represents the asset relative criticality as an integer from 1 to 10. Okay, the higher ACR indicates the highest criticality. Okay, it provides an ACR value the first time scan an asset. Then for the next one, the update ACR value is by daily. Okay, if we see multiple ACR value, Tenable will prioritize the value in the following order. Okay, first one is if set the manual overridden ACR value, and the second one the Tenable provided ACR value. Is set criticality rating table. You can see the category low is 1 to 3, and the critical category, the range is from 9 to 10. This is a free driver for ACR used to calculate an asset Tenable provided ACR. Okay, the first key driver is device underscore type. Example, hypervisor and printer. Key driver is device underscore capability, business purpose. For example, file server and mail server. Next one, internet exposure. This one, the device location on user network and proximity to the internet. Example, for internal, the device is located within user local area network, possibly behind the firewall. For external, the device is located outside user and not behind the firewall. Okay, the fourth one is asset exposure score. Calculates a dynamic of ES. Okay, it represents the asset relative exposure as an integer between 0 and 1000. Okay, the higher AES indicates a higher exposure. AES calculation is based on the current ACR number provided or custom and the VPR associated with the asset. Asset exposure score table. As you can see, the low category is from range 0 to 349. The higher category is from range 650 to 1000. Lumin Metrics is assessment maturity grade. Provide a high level summary of how effectively users are scanning for the vulnerability. The calculation of a dynamic assessment metric grade that represents user assessment scanning held as a letter grade between A and F. An A grade indicates users are assessing their asset quickly and vice versa. This is an assessment maturity grade. Okay, grade A, the range is between 75 to 100, and grade F is 0 to 14. This calculate the depth grade as the combination of the scan policy coverage and authentication coverage. There's a two, scan policy coverage and authentication coverage. Okay, a high depth grade indicate using policy with full plugin coverage and successfully running those plugins on the asset. This is a depth grade letter table. You can see the grade A is from range 75 to 100. Then the grade F is from range 0 to 14. Calculate frequency grade based on how often users can asset on their network. Okay, a higher frequency grade indicate users are scanning their asset often. Here is a grade for frequency grade letter table. Okay, grade A, the range is 75 to 100, and grade F is 0 to 14. Tenable vulnerability indicator or TVI. TVI is a all-unique publicly disclosed vulnerability to help to identify an individual vulnerability on their network. See this one, comparison between vulnerability with TVIs and vulnerability without TVIs. Okay, vulnerability they are CVE published. Then the second one, vulnerability they are not CVE published. The third one is vulnerability that are covered by Tenable plugin, and the fourth one is vulnerability that are not covered by Tenable plugin. For vulnerability without TVI, the first one is the security weakness, for example like unsupported software, and the second one is vulnerability within user in-house and custom application. Okay, that's all for our session today. Okay, if you guys have any question or inquiries, you can drop us an email to our spin email at info@e-spincorp.com, or you can give us a call. Our officer will help you accordingly.